Welcome back to the channel, guys and gals. My name is Norman, also known as King Julian. So today we are going to work on putting the windows in the Pennsylvania rebuild World War II era style. Well, actually, it's not style. It's World War II era passenger car, and it's actually O scale. So I went down to Hobby Lobby this morning, and I picked up a couple of sheets of this really thin, flexible window material. Now there is a film on it that does come off. This is great for marking. Um, Now these are bigger than the ones I've bought before in the past. So these were 99 cents, which I got 3 of them, and that should do about 4 or 5 cars. Um, so I'll have some extras left over. So we'll just go from there. But what I'm going to do to mark it, because I was measuring it out, I'm actually using this piece of aluminum rod that is 1 1/4 by 3 foot length. It's very thin. It's a great thing to mark with, especially doing this. You could possibly even use a ruler. In fact, here's my 18-inch ruler. Let me see something here. Yeah, you can even use the 18-inch ruler. This would actually work out fine, either one. They're both the same size. Okay, maybe a millimeter. Okay, so maybe a millimeter difference. That can actually make a difference in how it sets in. So we'll just go with that, because that'll at least give me the clearance on the top. Oh, there's my extra step I was looking for. And we're going to do that. So I've always done this in a way that was a little bit different than most people have. This stuff's actually very easy to cut. So I'm going to have to cut 4 pieces. I'll cut the first one, and right out to see how I'm going to do this. Now, again, if you got to do any more cutting, I mean, you can. I mean, you can trim it. Most part, it actually will snap at this point, because it is kind of thin. You could even probably use a pair of scissors if you wanted to be honest with you. All right, so here's the first one. Sometimes you can just fold it over, use the existing mark and trace it, and use your X-Acto knife and cut. Well, those dogs are raising hell today. I wonder if they're starting to piss off my dog out there. So I'm going to make 4 cuts. We're going to basically, you're scoring it. Okay, and then we're going to do the 4th piece. And of course, now you won't be needing all 4 pieces. You'll be needing part of 2 of the pieces. All right. Scored and cut. So just take your X-Acto knife like this and just cut the excess film off. Cut it loose from the original filming. Okay, extra piece laid over, so you probably got another car on that one piece. All right, let's bring down the Pennsylvania car here. Before this goes back together, I'm going to put some inserts in here to kind of separate like the sleeping quarters or whatever from the rest of the car. That won't be hard to do at all. So let's take, we're going to use a sanding block, and we're just going to kind of sand down the edges just to make sure that everything is lined up and as it needs to be. No rough edges, and that everything looks like nice and smooth. Okay, so right here. That'll work. All right, so first area we're going to do is this area right here. Okay, make sure the windows are all nice and cleaned up. We don't want any overlay. Make sure there's nothing showing. You don't want anything to show through. The last thing you want to be trying to do is do touch-ups on this and then have to cut tape to go in here. Okay. So that's good there. Alright, so we're going to do again on, well, flip it back around. We're going to work on this side right here first. And this is the side that actually has some damage done to it. Saw something I didn't like. Give me just a second here. So a little piece of was a little bit loose right there, and that just was not going to go over well with me. All right, so out of the 4 pieces we just cut, just pick one and pull it from its original plastic. And as you can see, it's pull loose. Alright, let me think here. I'm going to cut it right there. Or actually going right there. So alright. So we're going to pretty much score it, cut it, little piece coming off. You can always cut that, use it for something else later. Alright, so when you get ready to lay this in, always give yourself a little bit of a peel off room because the other side is clear. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to use some of this wildwood on the bottom, right down here towards the edging, and a touch of super glue across the top edge. When you get this stuff open, there it goes. Now once this stuff is installed, it will take, you know, a day or two to completely harden, but once it is done, it is done. Okay, it's contact cement. I mean, it's great stuff, don't get me wrong. Okay, now we're going to take this, set this in just like that. Typically, I'd use a different type of glue to do this with, but and no, you do not have to worry about the Instaset marking up your windows. It will not. I will use it from time to time just to double ensure that the windows are staying put in certain key locations. Especially where there's been any type of damage to the car, just to ensure that it stays put. Try not to grab too close to the window areas. Always try to stay away from the window area. Just, grab it in the center. Or towards the bottom of the window. And all you're doing is ensuring that this stays put. Alright, so there you go. There's the first window it is in. Now let's do this one. So I got to look at how I want to do that. Okay. And we have an extra piece. We'll use that on the other side. Alright, so we'll go do it like that. And get those window pieces in. Again, we're using the DAP contact cement on the windows. And this will take, like I said, a couple of days to dry. Well, it doesn't really take a couple of days, but I mean, as far as getting tacky, just getting to a hard may take a couple hours, because it is going on top of plastic and wood, or plastic and stuff like that. So it might dry up pretty quickly. It might not. All right, so now to ensure that, we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom, or actually on the roof, right here, and that'll help secure it. All right, so this side now has all of its windows in it. Before this goes back together, of course, I will make sure they're clean 100%. Just has to make sure they're clean. And then this piece right here, once I get ready to put it back on, it will be tacked back on with some brad nails. Leftover piece. I guess I give yourself a nice little pull tab right there. And we're going to pull this side out. Oddly enough, while I was sitting there thinking about it, this particular car actually made its way from New Jersey. And if y'all watch this channel long enough, you also know that I have a gentleman on here that I call my brother, and that is O-Gate Arthur, which is O-Gate Trains plus slot cars. Very super cool guy. Lives up in the Jersey area somewhere. Super cool guy. Go check out his channel if y'all haven't. He actually has a layout. I'm guessing it's in his apartment or a downstairs basement. I don't know. That's actually on the floor, and he's built it up. It's got almost 3 levels now. And from when I first started watching him, back when he first started, I think it was only like 2. I think he only had 1 at the time, and then he was getting ready to start the second one. But it's grown massive. And he does a lot of actual modeling, like cutting down 2x4s and actually making I-beams for his trestles, which I think is actually really cool that he does that. All right, so now we got the last piece ready to go on, which is this little piece that we left off earlier. Now we gotta look at it, decide where to cut it. So we're gonna cut it right there. Okay. Kind of a little piece we cut off. All right, so now we're going to flip this around. Make sure there's no... Okay, that's right. We already took it off on that side, so we're good. There we go. We got 4 little pieces up on there. 4 pieces of glass. Again, Hobby Lobby, 99 cents. Of course, these are the bigger sheets. If you go with the smaller sheets, which they were out of, it's like 2 for $1 or something like that. So on the smaller sheets. Which is actually what I was wanting, was the smaller sheets, but that's all right. So now we have windows in the back in the car. We're gonna let that dry, and from there, once it is completely dried, we'll start reassembly. I do have the wood to remake this piece right here, so that's getting remade, and I do also have some paint that I used, that I have, that is Tuscan, Pennsylvania Tuscan red. It is actually, well, was, I should say, my father's model railroad paint from the 60s and 70s, and I was able to bring it back and make it usable and still retain its original color. So it was really good that it had some of the original oils, and the pigmentation was still good, because that's how you bring them back. And then, of course, you just want to use like an acrylic thinner or something like that. Testers is a wonder worker to bring those back. And that's how I brought back a lot of these old paints, these old Flocal paints and old engine color paints that people haven't seen in many, many years. And so that's how I did it. So in the next video, I'll work on some interior stuff for it and getting the doors and stuff put back on it. As always, keep the shiny side up, rubber down. We'll see you on the next video, probably here in a little bit. If not, it'll be sometime later this week. I'll see y'all then. Y'all have a wonderful day.